I'm running for President of the United States. Did you know that? Yeah. Just wanted to tell you that. I believe that this election, which is going to be in November of next year, and then you have your caucuses in January, I think this election is going to be a very defining election for the country. It's going to be a decision about the direction we go in, and it's going to be a very big decision. If I'm the candidate of the party and the President of the United States, we're going to move this country in a direction of being on offense and dealing with terrorism. I believe that you have a choice between being on offense or being on defense. I think the Democrats have clearly signaled they want to be on defense. They want to step back. They want to step back in Iraq without really concern about the consequences. They want to step back in a lot of other ways, too. They want to step back on the Patriot Act and electronic surveillance and all the things that you would do to keep yourself, I think, in a situation like this, on offense, trying to stay ahead of what the Islamic terrorists might be planning to do and stopping them from doing it. And I think you can see it in all of the debates on television, all of the debates in Congress, and I think that would be a very, very wrong direction for the country. The country should be, in dealing with something like this, the country should be strong, and it should be united, and it should be very, very firm. The second area, and we have these 12 commitments to the American people that I made back in June. It kind of lays out all the things we want to do. You can't do that in one quick speech, but if I could summarize the rest of it, I would say I want to move this country more in the direction of the private sector, of giving people more control over their own life, giving you more of an opportunity to make your own decisions. I want to see you have a lot more control of your own health care. The last thing I want to see is to have government control of your health care. That'd be the worst possible thing we could do. And the Democrats are taking us right in that direction, aren't they? They're taking us right in the direction of, and I know they hate the word, socialized medicine. Well, that'd be a real big mistake for America, to have socialized medicine. It would be. What I want to do is to have you have more control of your own health care. Let's see if we can create a tax exclusion, a tax incentive, so people will buy their own health insurance. If a lot of people buy their own health insurance, the price will come all the way down. People will be able to afford it, but it'll be theirs. They'll be able to control it. It won't even be their employers. It'll be theirs. It'll be one that they can take with them from job to job. I want to see us have health savings accounts so people can get equity and they can develop some assets in their health care insurance policy. And then, similarly, I'm for people, not government, where it comes to taxes. I think we should work very hard to reduce government spending. I was very good at that. I was very good at that as mayor of New York City. And it's hard to be good at reducing spending in New York City. Everything costs so much, including government, that you got to work really hard to reduce spending. But I did, more than any other mayor probably in the history of the city. And I'll tell you one thing I did more than any other mayor in the history of the city. I reduced taxes more than any other mayor in the history of New York City. I reduced taxes to such a large extent that George Will said that I ran the most conservative government in America in the last 50 years. And I'd like to do that as President of the United States. Wouldn't you like to have a president that wants to reduce your taxes rather than one that wants to raise your taxes? Well, if you have Hillary Clinton or John Edwards or Barack Obama, you'll have a president that wants to raise your taxes. They have promised to raise your taxes. Somehow I think that's a promise they'll keep. Don't you? The Democrats, one thing you can count on, when they don't promise to raise taxes, they raise taxes. When they do promise to raise taxes, they really raise taxes. And they really want to raise your taxes. Big time. 20, 30% tax increase. Comes right out of your pocket. And goes to Washington, where they believe the money can be spent more efficiently. If you believe that, vote for them. I don't believe that. I think money is going to be spent much more efficiently by you if we let you keep some of your money. That's how we grow our economy. We grow our economy by letting the people make more choices, not the government. We're not a great country because we have a big central government. We're a great country because we have great people. And they make terrific choices. So my choice is, let you keep a little bit more of your own money. You're going to make better decisions with it. you're going to provide more jobs for people. You're going to provide more creativity in our economy. And that's at the core of my running for president. I think that I can keep this country moving in a very positive and optimistic direction by having growth policies. There are 4 things the next president has to make sure we don't do. And if you have a Democrat, we're going to do all of them. And if you have me, we're not going to do anything. Here are the 4 things that really ruin an economy like ours. Overspending by government. Overtaxing by government. Overregulating by government. And oversuing by everybody. I'm going to reduce spending. I'm going to reduce taxes. We're going to reduce regulations. And we're going to control, in a much better way, the abuses that happen in our legal system. And I'm going to leave you with one example of that. Because it's a small example, but it happens hundreds of times, and thousands of times, and hundreds of thousands of times, and it's costing you money you don't even realize. We understand about taxes, and we understand about spending, and we understand about regulating, but sometimes we don't understand the damage that too much suing does. Some places in America, women tell me they have a hard time finding an OBGYN because doctors are leaving that specialty because they get sued too much. Well, that's one way you feel it, but here's another way you feel it. It costs every family about $10,000 a family in this country because lawsuits are out of control. Here's an example you might remember. A couple of weeks ago, there was a man, remember he lost his pants? In Washington, D.C. He was a judge, of course, a lawyer. He lost his pants. He went to the cleaners. He left his pants to be cleaned and pressed. He went to pick them up, and the people that owned the cleaning store had lost his pants. That happens, right? Well, he sued them. He sued them for $54 million. Can you believe that? $54 million? Even in New York, pants don't cost $54 million. Well, the case went to court, the case went to trial, and he lost. As he should have lost, right? Because when you think about it, I know people laugh at it, but when he wrote down in that complaint that he filed $54 million, he was lying. His pants weren't worth $54 million, unless he had things in his pants he didn't want everybody to know about.